Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky15, and in this video I'll be giving you my Lucky 15 predictions for tomorrow's horse racing action. As usual here on the channel, it wasn't a bad day for us today. We had a nice winner with Cubs win for Bryony Frost and Neil King at Savile. It was a good commanding performance in the end, and they always seem to underrate that horse in the market. There was a bit of a drift. We tipped it up at 10-3 and it went to 11-2, exactly the same when it won for us last time out on the flat at Lingfield. Tipped up at 3-1, and then some people were able to get it on 20-1 just before the off. So they seem to not really fancy this horse a lot of the time, but obviously it does the business and it wins, and I'm not complaining. Away from there, other selections were a little bit disappointing. At Chepstow in the 2 o'clock, our selection there didn't really run that great. No excuses for that horse, I think. Also as well, our win Delilah at Savile travelled okay for a long way in the race, and I thought maybe coming into the home turn it might have been there in the frame, but in the end it just kind of hit a flat spot and couldn't be competitive. And then our other selection, Buffer Zone, was quite a bit of a disappointing selection in the end. Was very well backed, but could only muster third place, I think it was, at Windsor. So a little bit disappointing, but hey ho, at least we had a winner at Savile, and I hope some of you maybe just did it as a single, something like that would have been nice to see you if you did that one. So yeah, that's all I've got to say on today's selections. Moving for tomorrow's racing, I didn't really fancy too much tomorrow. I only really fancied anything at Newton Abbot, so all 4 selections will be from the evening racing at Newton Abbot. Also as well, just to let you know, I will be at Newbury tomorrow. I'm doing some of my documentary work. So yeah, any questions on any tips for Newbury tomorrow, I'll be on Twitter when we get to the track. And any questions, any thoughts or feelings or any tips, just give us a buzz and we'll try and get back to you. So yeah, without further ado, we'll get stuck into the action, and to kick us off at Newton Abbot, we go to the 6 o'clock with a horse called Leoro. It's 4-1 with bookmakers at the moment, trained by Charlie Mann, who does normally quite well at this time of year. He doesn't have many horses in operation, but the ones that do normally tend to go very well. Gavin Sheehan booked for the ride. This horse is making its handicap debut off a mark of 98 now. It might be a bit of a stiff mark, 98, but however I thought they found a fair race for it to be competitive in. It's been running in some decent novice hurdles, and this is going to be a lot easier compared to what it's been running in, and I thought it had a really good chance of going very close tomorrow, and I thought it was an interesting contender, and I'm going to start off that one at 4-1 for us tomorrow. We then go to the 6:30 for a horse that won for us when we were at Fontwell. Some of you that follow me on Twitter would have known that I tipped this horse up when we were at the races, and it was Findusatgorcombe. It won at 8-1 for us, and it was for our favourite jockey at the moment, Bryony Frost, who's riding for her dad, Jimmy Frost, tomorrow. It won at Fontwell in very impressive style in the end. Was always game. It was never a superstar. It's a very small horse as well. If you see it compared to probably quite a lot of its rivals tomorrow, if you were there and saw it in the parade ring, you'd think it's absolutely tiny, but it's got a heart of a lion, this horse, and it's really impressive, and still only young really. And yes, I know it's not a great rated horse, but it's one of those horses that would do a yard, I think, some decent favours in the years to come. And I thought Findusatgorcombe tomorrow was pitched in again at another good opportunity to get his head in front, and I thought 3-1 that could be a good price to be taken there. We then go to the 7:30 with a horse here called Red Square Revival, trained by David Pipe. Tommy Scudamore is booked for the ride. This horse arrives here in very good form, won 3 of its last 5 starts, most recently at Market Raising. It tends to be a front runner, tends to make all the running, and I thought tomorrow this is the one you had to be with. I'm not so keen on Sam Thomas's Not a Role Model. I'd rather be on Red Square Revival. So for me, this is going to be the selection here, and I thought at the value he was the one you had to be with. He's around about 11-4, 3-1, best odds I've seen out there. To round off, we go to the last race at Newton Abbot, and with a horse there called Time for Ben, round about 10-3, best odds I've seen out there. Now this one won for us for the other people I worked for, the Punters page, a couple of weeks ago when it won at 6-1 for us, and that horse won at Worcester in quite a good style in the end, and I thought there was still a lot more to come from this horse. It has been raised a few pounds for that effort at Worcester, but it was still a good commanding performance, and I thought again it was the one they all had to beat. I'll be against the Majestic of Seamus Mullins. I think that's starting to hit a bit of a flat spot now, getting a little bit too high up in the weights, but I thought Time for Ben tomorrow had a good chance again to stick its head in front, and I'm hoping that we can get David Pipe and Tommy Scudamore double there tomorrow at Newton Abbot. So they're the selections to round things off. So that's all I got to say. Please gamble responsibly. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel here at Lucky15 if you haven't done so already. Also follow me on Twitter as well at Lucky15. Any questions, just feel free to tip me away on Newbury tomorrow. So follow me on there if you don't do so already. So that's all I got to say. Hopefully we can have some winners for tomorrow's racing, and we'll be seeing you soon.